I'd like to call the school committee meeting of May 20th to order. Can we start with a moment of silence? Thank you, and let's please stand for a pledge to the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. So this is the official reorganization meeting for the 2019-20 school year. I'd like to congratulate Mr. Howard and Mr. Jones on their successful election in Hanson, Mr. Cullity in Whitman, and welcome to our board, Ms. Dawn Byers.
Welcome, Don.
Thank you.
The first item of business today, I will be looking for nominations for chair.
Nominate Bob Pierce.
Second.
Nominated by Mr. Small and seconded by Mr. O'Brien. Any other nominations for chair? I have a nomination, a motion from Mr. Small and a second, Mr. O'Brien. Any discussion? All in favor of Mr. Hayes for chair? Is it a roll call vote, Michelle? Or is it just hands? Do they have to say?
I think it's not roll call.
Okay.
Yes. So we've been elected.
Congratulations, Mr. Hayes, as chair. I'm going to now pass it right over to you.
Couldn't wait to throw that on.
You're much more proficient than I.
Pass that one down.
Get that gavel out of me.
All right, way to go. I'd entertain motions for vice chair.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Cullity.
I'd like to nominate Fred.
Second?
Second.
Second it?
Which one are you seconding?
Wait,
Which one are we
Somebody
seconding?
second it?
Yeah.
Well, he's seconding.
Cullity or
You're
Fred?
seconding me?
Well, Dan, because you started with him.
Yeah, that's right, you did, so it's,
Okay. I have one nomination for vice chair. Are there any other nominations?
I'd like to nominate Chris Scriven.
Second? Somebody?
Second?
Okay. We'll do Mr. Cullity first. So, Michelle, are you recording this?
I got it.
oh, I'm writing it down.
So I don't have to,
Yeah, I'll get it straight for you.
you got it for me?
You got Mr. Cullity, Mr. Fred motion.
I second it.
Seconded. I wrote Bob, not Rob.
Okay.
Okay? So do you want to take the,
Okay. Seeing as there's two, we're going to do a voice vote.
you want to do roll call?
Cullity and Scriven?
First, we're doing Cullity, then we're doing Scriven?
We're going to do Cullity first.
Roll call?
No.
No.
Yes.
Yes. No. No. I'm sorry.
Yes.
No.
Yeah. Two yes?
Okay. I got,
I didn't hear Chris Howard.
No.
Okay, 2 yes.
you got two yeses.
Yep. Okay. Now you want to do
Who nominated Chris?
Okay, now,
Robbie,
I nominate Chris.
Mike.
Okay.
now Mr. Scriven.
Yes.
Yes.
I should have started at the other side. That's my fault. I'm
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I'm sorry. Who?
This one's for me.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Mr. Scriven has been elected the vice chair.
I'd entertain a motion for clerk. I think it's called secretary clerk. Are we, Michelle?
Yep, that's right.
Who was the last one?
Fred, I think.
I'll nominate Fred Small.
Second.
Yes.
Oh, wait a minute. Any other nominations for secretary clerk? I'm sorry. Okay. Nominations are closed for clerk.
Yes.
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 Unanimous. Next up is treasurer. I'd entertain nominations for treasurer.
When was the last time? Robbie?
Yeah, I was just going to ask, who was the last time?
No, I think I was a couple
Chris.
times ago.
It was Dan Cullity and Chris, you were the assistant.
Chris, I'll drive the bus over you. Nominate Chris.
I'll back it up.
There we go.
All right, so who's nominated?
I'm nominating Chris Howard.
A second.
Okay. Are there any other nominations for chair? I mean, for
Treasurer.
Treasurer.
treasurer. I told you, it's the sun, guys. Don't put your bald head in the sun. Okay, we'll start with Dawn.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
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 okay.
Nominate Ally Taylor for Assistant Treasurer.
Second,
Nomination?
Any other nominations for assistant treasurer?
the assistant treasurer. Alex.
Excuse me. Any other nominations for assistant treasurer? Nominations are closed for assistant treasurer?
Yes.
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 Yes. Yes.
Okay. Okay, excuse me. Next up are subcommittees. Warrant Subcommittee. One member.
Could be one member, the new, item
Need to
3
vote
on
it, don't we?
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in
Yeah.
a minute.
So you could pass that over, do all the.
Yeah, I'll pass it.
Discussion.
You're right. Facilities and Capital Subcommittee. 1, 2, 3,
Just say names because I'm
4.
writing. Just say names.
Scriv, Jonesy, Robbie, and Fred. Anyone else? Good. Policy Subcommittee. Michelle, am I going too fast?
No, I got him.
I got him, yeah, I got him.
Policy Subcommittee. Chris,
What time is that? What time do you meet for
Policy.
policy?
As needed,
Trotter was on it.
As needed,
no
though, Ally.
setback, as needed.
We didn't meet last year.
No,
Yeah, you only you only do it if there's no policy, if there's new policies, and it's very infrequent. Ally,
I mean, I'll toss them in.
Fred, Chris.
Infrequent.
Insurance Subcommittee, this is a new committee that we've never had before.
Okay.
Before?
Fred.
Fred, Chris, Ally,
Scriven.
Fred.
Jones.
Chris. Ally.
Anyone else?
Jones. Fred. Chris.
Legislative Representative. This is the person that talks to all the politicians. Fred did it last year, I think Jonesy did it one year. Did you guys ever share it?
Last year,
I couldn't remember. They did?
2 of them. reported.
Legislative rep, somebody that's got to talk to Brady, Cutler,
Ally
Fred.
Sullivan.
Ally Sullivan,
You like that? You're good with that?
Fred.
Appointing Fred.
Anyone else want to help him?
No, I'd love to. I don't have the time. I'm sorry.
Pilgrim area, Boyce isn't here, so he's it.
He's it?
He likes it, actually.
Yeah, he does.
Unless somebody else wants it.
He does.
He does a great job.
Boyce won't care.
Steve is a great choice.
Second.
MASC, MASS joint conference, what this involves is you have to go to the meeting of MASC in Hyannis. At least it's usually in Hyannis,
November.
in November.
Didn't we vote to strip all funding other than our membership? So wouldn't that be at your own dime for the badge? Or does that not require a badge?
Requires a badge.
I think it requires a badge, and I think it's a requirement, other than I think we did say there's no hotel overnighters.
Even the badges, I know last year.
How much is it, Michelle?
Usually early bird special is like $2.95 or $3.95 for the 4 days.
So we're not gonna go to MASC?
Do we know what day the
Yep,
vote?
they're
It's
right
not,
on
It's usually like the 5th to the
Well, I
8th
got
of
it.
November,
It's
isn't it?
on
Saturday.
6th through the 9th.
6th to the 9th.
but the voting doesn't take place tomorrow, right?
It's usually that one day, the 9th.
Place for- Yeah.
Michelle, do you
That's
have,
Saturday.
do you have any
You still have
recollection,
to register if you're going for 1 day, though.
Yeah.
do you have any recollection if we said we're not going, or we're not paying for the badge, or, I know we weren't paying for
The
hotel.
hotel piece.
That's what I thought, too.
Right.
But for professional development for a school committee, but.
All right, so who wants to be the MASC delegate?
Is it one-day commitment? It's
Or
four.
it's three,
Oh, three.
like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Boyce liked doing it last year, I thought. Oh, no, wait, he
you don't have
didn't,
to
he
be
ended up
there
not
the whole
going. We ended up not having a rep at
Yeah,
that
it might be
meeting.
something that you
Yeah.
go to for a day or two,
Okay.
but not as the voting member.
I don't know that I can commit 4 days,
Here comes.
but
It's like.
Why don't you be the
Wednesday night.
alternate, Dawn?
It's really only Thursday day and Friday day
Yeah.
are when all the workshops and seminars
But when
I'm
is the actual,
interested,
when is
but-
the vote? Because what we really need the delegate for is to conduct
for
the
the-
vote.
Yeah, it's at the business meeting, it's at the, like, annual business meeting
And
is what
usually
you
the
need it
business
for.
meeting
You know
is
what day that is?
Friday morning. It's usually Friday.
Friday morning?
Yeah.
Friday morning's a voting day, I believe, too. Because Robbie, we stayed a couple
We
times.
stayed, yeah.
It's the intro on
Yeah.
Thursday, and then the
It was the last.
first thing in the morning on Friday is
I
usually.
can do it if it's
I
Friday.
think
can
3
do
or
it-
4
I can do it
times
if
I
it's
didn't buy
Friday.
a badge because we were presenting.
Chris?
Yeah, Chris and
I
Don.
can do it if
That
it's
was one of
Friday.
the years.
Jeff and George went
We'll be
one
there.
time. We
Yeah.
didn't buy a badge that time because we were presenting.
Yeah, that we presented, we went this time, and we
Yeah,
went
we
with
were
a
there.
badge, yeah.
Okay.
We have Chris Howard.
Well, let me put it to you this way. There's no hurry. We can wait.
No, I think Chris is.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
I can do it if it's Friday.
Yeah,
I can do it
Okay.
if it's Friday.
And Don could be the alternate.
The alternate might be walking.
You want to be the alternate?
no, Donna,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Do you want to be it, or do you want to be the alternate?
alternate, it's fine.
Okay, Chris is going to do it, and Dawn will be the alternate. Boise, we put you on 3 or 4 different things.
You going to
You feel that
Washington?
school bus hit you when you were walking in?
No, it's just the rain.
You still want to be
Yes, of course,
pilgrim,
absolutely.
so we just did it.
Thank you.
Okay? Is there any other anything else you want to be on?
On time.
If you find a class for that, my wife has never been on time in 40 years, let me know.
I'm usually really good at timing it, but the absolutely horrendous coming out of the box.
Yeah, I bet.
Warrant subcommittee, was that?
Okay,
Thank
so
you, I'm good,
I think we're good with this. Anybody else have any questions? And keep in mind, as we move through the year, as everybody knows, if somebody wants to add or subtract, there's plenty of work to go around, always. Okay, we're reorganized. Anything I missed, Michelle?
Did you want to talk about the state mandates?
I'm going to that
Oh, all
right
right,
now.
yeah, no.
Just
then
with the
no worries.
reorg, I think.
All right,
We're good on,
reorg I'm talking about.
we're
Yeah,
good.
no, we're good.
Okay, good. State mandates, auditor's office. Fred had spoken with the auditor's office, and they are going to send out, what's his name, Fred?
Dr. Ben Tafoya, who's the Director of Local Mandates.
To discuss the mandates with us at a school committee meeting. It's going to be, is it the next
The
meeting?
June meeting.
June meeting,
Okay,
and I'm writing a letter to all our local legislators as far as Board of Selectmen, town admins, and
Yeah.
FinCom to join us.
why don't we include the finance committee?
Yes,
Can we also include Brady, Sullivan, and Cutler?
that's a given.
Yeah. Okay. Does anybody have any questions about that? Next, they passed a bill, and we voted on this, but they hadn't in the bill included regional school committees, so we have to revote it. It's House Bill 271, and it was passed this year, January 10th, 2019. The legislation allows regional school districts or school committees to designate one of its members to sign payroll warrants and accounts payable warrants. As we do it now, we have 3 members. We voted the bill was a mess. And as Michelle put it, sorry, Dan. As Michelle put it, they made a mistake, so we have to revote it. So what it means is one person would be designated, excuse me, to sign all warrants, payroll, accounts payable. Right now, we have 3. And as you know, other than Dawn, you have to come up and sign it. Sometimes it's a pain to get 3. I'll open up the discussion to the committee. Fred?
I do know the town of Whitman did look at it in the Board of Selectmen when it came available to them. They did decline to name one person.
They did or they didn't?
They declined it.
Okay.
Yeah, I just think that if you have 3 people looking at something, it's much better and more thorough. Type of a thing, and the onus isn't on one person. We're all liable anyways.
Yeah. Chris?
I thought we established that there was already checks and balances in terms of the auditor.
We have a
Christine-
treasurer.
Yeah, Christine, that's why,
Well, we've got Jeff, Christine,
David Leary, the treasurer.
yeah, David, he's the treasurer. Those three on it as we speak. And then we are audited yearly by an outside auditing firm. But this is sometimes twice a month, sometimes, depending on what's going on, a look. And it's one of the things, excuse me, that school committee does, is controls budget. Ally?
I can't quite recall, but when we,
This room's going to be plagued.
Yeah, we quarantined. It's the pollen with me.
when we appoint somebody, there can't be like a backup person where if it's that one person, that person.
Yeah, it's one person.
It can't be like, yeah.
Yeah, there's no backup on this, there's no alternates, either 3 or 1, unless we changed it. Bobby?
with 3 people signing it, because I know some weeks, bang, you get 3 people right away, other weeks, not so much. I know employee payroll, regardless, whenever we sign it, it gets signed, but they get paid, that's okay. Have we backed up vendors by a substantial amount by?
Not really. I think what happens is certain months, it's difficult. Summer months might be difficult if all you folks are away. It hasn't been an issue. You know, it's more or less, it's an opportunity, and it depends on the size of the region. But it really, I would say it's not a real issue. It is a system of checks and balances. I think we're pretty good. Our audits have been clean for the past multiple years, but it really hasn't been an issue. But there are days that Michelle will be calling you saying, we need to get this done, and nobody's available. So that's the ease of, for the committee, one person. I think that's why they pushed that legislation.
Okay.
Chris?
So a couple of things. So one, I know speaking for myself, I can do it. It's just sometimes hard to be here between 8 and 4:30 or whatever. So to the extent there's flexibility to come in really early or really late, I can always get that done.
Yeah.
The second thing, and this is a little bit of backwards, but I think we need to talk through it. Before we vote this, I don't know if anyone would be willing to consider the responsibility of being the sole person, because if we vote it and then we all look at each other and say, I'm not comfortable doing that, then we're gonna probably have to unwind what we just voted.
I was going there next, looking for a volunteer. Thank you. Dan?
In the past, with the 3 people, I'm home 70, 80% of the time on a Friday, and I have come up here to kill them off.
Yep.
I just don't come up because there's 3 people assigned to that.
Right.
So I don't really see, 3. I wouldn't want to go to 1, put the onus on one person, then they're on vacation or something.
All right, does anybody want to volunteer to be the 1? This might kill it. Chris? Jonesy?
Nope. As long as vendors are getting
Yeah.
paid, I'm good.
Yeah.
We're good.
I would be the one. I don't care.
How are you looking stripes?
I look fine. Listen, I work for the federal government. There's enough that goes on. I can handle it by now.
Are you available all the time?
I wouldn't want to be the
Not all
one.
the time, but I can do it on a schedule, because if you notice, Michelle puts us out on a schedule.
Okay. All right, well, we have a volunteer, so that's kind of a moot point,
Yeah, interesting.
Chris. So, okay, any further discussion before we move?
one-
Yeah,
The only other thing I'd like to bring up is there are things that we do sign off on that aren't part of audits as well, that we sign to pay bills, things that are in revolving accounts that do not get audited.
Chris?
Just as a question, I believe I know the answer to this, but just because we have, whether it's 1 or 3, are other people allowed to sign? Because I think in the past, we just, as
Anyone
a
can
school
sign
committee
one.
member, anyone can sign, correct?
Any
Okay,
3.
correct. But it doesn't have to be the 3 that are named, or the 1 that's named. It
No,
could-
we just put 3 people in the warrant, just
Correct.
to make it
Yeah.
easier.
I just want to make sure.
For
we're-
regulations.
No,
We're all
we
clear.
signed outside the warrant
Yeah,
committee.
we've
Yes.
signed outside of it.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's our charge.
Any one of the 10 of us?
Does it have, even though we will establish one person,
Well,
That's what I'm.
no,
Theoretically, yes.
Right, because I just asked that question.
no, if we vote in one person, it'll be that person, period. We vote in Mr. Boyce. It's not any one of us.
He's the only one that can sign it.
Correct.
And if he's sick or
Right, it's not one signature by
Vote someone else.
reported,
one of
Right,
the
it's
10 of
that
us.
one person who signs up for it.
One person or a committee.
One
of three.
designate.
Right. Anybody on the committee, as long as it totals 3.
Well, I think we
Everybody-
can push this along, because I think everybody knows which direction it's going.
Yeah, let's move to vote.
Okay.
Nothing changes if you don't vote.
Any,
No,
any,
right.
is there
Right,
any
exactly.
further discussion before we move to the
Well,
vote?
there's no motion even. We were
No
just
motion.
I'm
discussing.
gonna get to that. Someone make a motion that we keep it,
I'll make a motion, we keep the warrants
Second.
the way they are.
The motion is, wait a
I'm
minute.
making a motion that the warrant
Stays-
subcommittee stays in existence the way it is right now. That anybody from.
With
school can
3.
change.
With 3 signatures
With three
required.
3?
Yeah, 3
Three?
signatures. Yep.
Okay.
And that's what I'm seconding.
Somebody seconded it?
I seconded.
Fred? Okay. Any further discussion? All those in favor? Unanimous. Okay. Next meeting is June
12th. 12th.
12, right? Okay. Dates?
Establish a warrant subcommittee?
What?
Did you establish a warrant subcommittee? Did you have to do that?
Yeah, would anybody like to be on the warrant subcommittee? So we got 3 people? Oh, we got tons of people. Who isn't on any committees? Dawn? One?
I'm on.
If you need it,
Mr. Boyce, seeing he volunteered too?
I'm around during the day, so. Whatever.
3? Everybody good with that?
5.
3.
Mr. Boyce,
And I'll be a backup,
Robbie,
like I've been.
Boyce, Robbie, and Don Back.
and Dawn. Dates to remember. August 20, it doesn't say what they are though. These are all school committee ones.
Those are school committee meetings, yes.
August 28th, September 11th, October 9th.
This is next year's schedule.
oh, that's why.
Yeah, Fred?
Budget subcommittee, did we need to establish a new committee to start working on the budget ASAP?
I think that should be the job of the whole committee personally. We'll have, I think, the thought, and we can discuss that right now, might be having some meetings with budget only, nothing else in the agenda. We're just gonna talk about and work on the budget.
Schedule a second meeting for June? I mean, we're gonna have to
The
meet.
first meeting's on the 12th, we probably should have something in line. What's the calendar look like?
I don't know if I can make the second one, to be honest with you.
I'm going in the middle.
It's either gonna be 19 or 26.
June 26th, I'm not available.
Second part, no.
June 19th, what's going on?
I'm away, but if you guys need to meet, meet.
When is it?
Well, I have a work function.
Pretty close to the
19th.
We're meeting on the 12th,
Unless we did early July, but
14th, it's Flag Day.
or do we want to meet a different day than a Wednesday even?
Yeah. Father's Day's the 16th, I guess these are all flagged already.
we don't have a meeting on.
How about the end of June, like the 25th?
Tuesday, the 25th will work for me.
I'm away that week.
Bad? Okay. 24th,
Would work.
I don't get back till the 27th,
when do you leave?
19th.
Okay,
Michelle's away. Michelle's away.
So, I'm gonna throw this out, because I'm sure we're gonna wanna charge Jeff and George with things that we'd want before it. Should we wait and do it? And not that I really wanna kick the can down the road, but it gives them time to put something together, do it in August, early August. Because I don't think they're gonna have enough time in 2 weeks to put together what we're gonna want for budgets. And maybe I'm wrong, tell me if I'm wrong, because I know you guys are gonna be.
Which budget, though?
I was
guess
hoping
my
in
question
August.
is,
Yeah, we haven't finished this one yet.
what are we, the override thing, the regular hours,
well,
towns,
correct.
mutual,
Correct, that's what I'm saying, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, we have to, we need to.
Hanson's, Whitman's, which one?
Yeah, but I was hoping that we'd be meeting for like the third time by then, and having an idea of what we're looking at.
What's the date that Whitman needs?
For
what?
I don't know what you're asking.
They don't even know yet, but
We can't do
They
anything
haven't
to
set
June
their
9,
fall
after
town
June,
meeting.
the June meeting.
20-something anyways, they've got to finish town meeting.
Let's
Set a
wait till the
date,
June
right?
meeting and set a date.
So Bob, what if we
whatever that is, yeah,
invite maybe some of the, at least the
I'll
town
call-
administrators to the June meeting, and then we talk through with them
Yeah.
whoever else is gonna be involved in the process, rather than just arbitrarily setting a date that's gonna work for
We
us.
can actually
You know,
put on the June meeting
Yeah.
budget discussions,
Yeah.
and maybe Frank will come.
Just, can I ask a question? Just 'cause,
Sure.
I don't think I really know what's going on. So on the 12th, we're gonna talk about the anticipated budget for the next fiscal year or this potential of an override.
Well, the override is going to be for the next fiscal year,
Okay,
And Whitman,
so,
Well, I think how George is asking it is
right.
beyond
Those are
next
two,
year,
right.
like
But those are two separate things.
Yes.
right. So we're talking FY '21
Operational.
operational override.
And, or operational budget.
Again, why I asked the question, because I'm
Right.
confused.
Oh, yeah.
So, like, so we're gonna plan for the FY, but when is this override gonna be?
It's going to be in the fall that they're going to do the election, and it'll probably have to be Hanson as well.
See, and that's my challenge.
Guess that's my
I've
confusing
heard-
spot.
I've heard nothing from Hanson.
No.
As far as.
And
we need to
That's why I
invite
think
them.
they should come to the June.
Correct. You know, but I've heard nothing from Hanson, except that it's not on an agenda. It's just been.
Unless they can fit it in their levy.
So I don't know. So I agree, Mr. Howard, you know.
Yeah, you need,
let's invite him on the 12th and get
They're
this
supposed to be here
discussion.
anyway, because we're going to have the person from the state. So they're going to be on an invite anyway.
There you go. Already.
Okay,
Yeah, I think the most important thing is, we've got to do something to correct our shortcomings. You know, we can't go through another year of losing people. We can't go through another year of cutting back programs. And unfortunately, the way the towns are, they only have so much money, and the state's not riding into the rescue. So,
So do you think we'd get some, asking everyone, because you guys all know this more than me, do you think that we would get some inkling as to what they're thinking about from an overall town's perspective in order to shape it, before we say, this is ours? I mean, just because we went through,
if we let them control it, it'll end up being like this year.
Yeah, so-
Where everything just gets to the end and all the balls are thrown
right,
in the
excuse me,
air.
right, but they controlled it this year.
Right.
We didn't want them to, they did. So I guess my question to you is, you seem to be in the know, how would we then, how do we not let them control it?
Let's put together what our needs are.
Sure.
And what we envision.
We start running with it.
And then we're gonna give it to both towns and say, here you go, put it on the ballot and let the people decide.
But we do that every year, Fred.
No, we didn't
we
do it
didn't.
like that this year, and we've not done it really in the past. The only time we sort of did it was in 16 with the student success budget.
Yeah, that's the budget you love. That's the budget that you love, that you would like people to just be able to choose from an
Well-
academic standpoint. I guess I'm wondering is, what is the committee's feeling on how do we even put this together, the amount of money that we put together
well,
for
I
it?
think probably what we should do, and Mr. Boyce is waiting to talk, but I think probably what we should do is see what they're expecting.
Sure. Yeah,
Let
get some
them give
insight.
us a flavor.
Yeah,
I mean.
what I just said, thank you.
You're mentioning both towns now, but nothing's come out of Hanson. They'll say, we're not,
but we haven't given them anything to say, here's what we're looking for.
Right.
We have to give something to say, hey, we want X amount of money
yeah.
for whatever it's for, so that then they can decide what they want to do.
But what happens if one town doesn't put an override forward, and then the other town does? You end up going to a super town meeting?
Yeah.
Well, that would be not until this time next year.
Mr. Boyce
It wouldn't
is
happen in the
waiting,
fall.
You could force it sooner. Not
See what happens
mistake.
when you're late, Mr. Boyce?
Go ahead, Mr.
So,
I don't know.
this is kind of coming from the project management world. Not that I'm a project manager, but I've been involved in one for so long, I feel like I am. And actually, down the end of the table, they probably are much smarter with this than me. Deliverables are an important thing, and I think one of our deliverables will come in August, when we close the books on this current fiscal year, and we know what monies might be available, even if they're from prior fiscal years, that can be rolled in, and it gives us number one snapshot. Then we continue in almost like a project management type of way. And I don't mean to throw that big
No, it
term
makes
to
sense.
add
Not at all.
everyone
That's-
or anyone that doesn't do
Right.
this for a living or know about this, but it's the deliverables that are important here. And we want to point out, okay, here's our first thing. This is what we know right off the bat. And then give them, whatever else we have coming in. Is it me or the rain?
The rain, the
Oh,
rain is
okay.
coming down like
Or it could be me too.
We're all muttering under our breath at Mr. Howard
I'm
right
gonna
now.
sell my umbrella.
That's right.
And on that, I'm still looking at what the town of Whitman's gonna do in their next town meeting.
Yeah.
Because we're held up in capital right now.
Right.
Yep.
And moving
That's right.
forward. So if our capital items don't go forward
Right.
in this, how does that impact us going forward next year anyway? So the
We better-
further we can kick this down a little bit,
We better have them in on the 12th and discuss this.
Yeah.
Mike?
Jeff, would you have, for that meeting, would you be able to say, all right, so if we are going for an override, would you be able to say a rough dollar figure to say, all right, to break even, to keep what we lost, to get 19 positions back and bring science and everything back? This is what we're roughly going to need.
I'll have that end of July, August-ish, because once we close out this year, I don't know what we're gonna end up with E&D either. We
Okay.
might not have what we have next year, so we've used E&D for the past 9 years that I've been here. And if we can't use $500,000 next year, how does that play into our operational budget? So we'll know that once Christine rolls over the books in July, middle of July, August. We'll have numbers for staffing and what programs we want to add to and not necessarily bring back, but enhance. We've been
Right.
talking a lot about engineering and robotics and moving outside of the stagnation that we've been in. I mean, I can come up with rough numbers for the full-day Cape piece that we are, for the technology piece that we've cut out. But now, how do we want to enhance, and what does that look like, to make it something that we can sell to the general public, to say, this is what we need to move us forward,
Right.
not just to replace.
And I think we have things that we can talk about that we would like to see brought back. We definitely have things that we would like to see or back in the schools, however that's funded. We definitely have those things of that.
With that being said, you have some capital projects that are popping up.
Correct.
Would you consider putting into this?
It'll depend on how this happens in Whitman on the 17th of June, too. I mean, today, like I sent out today, we have an RU unit, an ERU unit that went down in the Performing Arts Center. It's been a capital item for 2 years. It's down now, and we're jerry-rigging things. As it rolls out and the needs of capital, that might be in that.
What was that dollar amount for that unit?
For this one?
Roughly.
If a replacement's going to be over $100,000.
And you're gonna
Repair
put-
is about 25.
I was to say, you're over 20 just to repair it.
Correct.
And you're still gonna have a junk unit.
Still going to have, yeah, and that's been on the capital plan for 2 years. It's been coming. It's been coming. So that's what I appreciate about Ernie and his team, is that he's seeing it up front, and we just haven't been able to pay the bill. So now we're coming to that issue where Friday night, Conley's here for thankfully, it was 65 degrees outside, but they have their talent show and the unit's shot. And it was a decent talent show because it was cooler outside. If it was today, we might not have that situation, so,
Jeff, how long has that been on the fence out here? It's been a couple of years though, right?
at least 2.
I was here at my daughter's recital and it was sweltering.
Yep.
Also, before we adjourn, because we're straying, we're going to do this on the, go ahead, Dan.
Just on the budget with the E&D, I really want to voice, I mean, I'm the only one that keeps saying, don't touch it. We really can't touch that anymore. I mean, our operating budget's supposed to be one thing. That's supposed to be for something else, not to run the school system. That's for emergencies. We become too dependent on that cash being there to run the systems. Town's got to pick up the slack, get us our funding, and get away from that. We're too close to having a disaster of either sped coming in or something happened to the school system. We're on the hook. Because we gave it away to operating budget. That's all I got to say. We really have to get away from that practice.
I think when you work on your budget, the idea of a budget, I would say do it without anything in E&D, because the way we're going, God only knows if it's gonna come back. With special ed, absolutely. I agree with Dan, we should not be touching that.
Fred?
Just on a legislative aspect, they are coming out with an FY19 supplemental. We'll see what we can get, pork-wise, and address any capital, you know.
We're still waiting to hear on that security grant.
Yeah, that was supposed to, last week they said it'd be this week.
So, I'm holding my breath.
And it was supposed to be the week before.
They did get a lot more applications than they originally thought for that safety grant. Yeah, they got many, many more for across the state.
cash.
Yeah, right, so.
One last thing, and I know
Safety.
the budget part, we're talking about meetings, and that's when I mentioned the dates, so we're kind of on the agenda. There's been some questions, and this is budgetary, about the budgetary jobs that were lost. It seems that there appears to be in some people's mind that there weren't 19.2 jobs lost. When can we discuss that?
We can discuss, I can't discuss people necessarily, but I can tell you in June exactly, from your sheets, those were the positions that we went to, so they're 19.2. We can discuss at the June
In
meeting.
June? Okay.
One last thing before adjourn, because I was stuck in traffic. Committees, did you already form them all?
Don't worry, we'll put you on some.
I just wanted to know which one.
Dan, negotiations,
We didn't do negotiations, no.
we didn't do negotiations.
We don't really have any.
Yeah, because we're not doing it for another,
Another year.
yeah. Facilities and capital.
Okay. Insurance?
Michelle, can you read them?
Yep, facilities is Chris Scriven, Mike Jones, Robbie O'Brien, and Fred Smallman.
I want to
Insurance is,
Dan, too.
that's fine, that's a quorum of the school.
And 6?
Six is quorum.
Oh, no, that's
Six is
fine.
Six is
quorum.
a quorum.
6.
So add Dan.
Insurance Subcommittee.
Yes, that's,
Who's on insurance?
Insurance is Fred Small, Chris Scriven, Mike Jones, and Ally Taylor,
Dan, too.
and Dan.
Policy. Warrant. Is it already?
that's already been done,
Pilgrim area.
yeah.
Legislative.
I'll help out. I only know his facts. But I'll dig deeper.
You want to be on the legislature?
Please.
MASC delegate and alternate.
No, because I won't be attending.
Okay,
Fred and Steve.
Fred and Steve.
good.
Good, thank you.
No, thank you. All right, and entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
It's true.